Okay, preparing to live stream. All right.
Well, I put some on my across. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got us public. I think. Okay. I think I did it.
It says we're live. Hi.
Okay. You got it. Oh, look at that. Is that
It
you?
says it says we're live.
Okay. So hold on, because it's coming through my ears. Is that you?
What?
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I know. Hold on.
I'm holding. It says on my end,
There.
Paula, it
Whew.
says we're live on YouTube.
Yes.
So
Okay. Got it. I had
just
to.
saying.
I had the tab open, and I was screaming in my ear. That is what it. So I had to shut the
Oh,
tab. Yeah.
awesome.
All right.
Good
All
job.
right. So we are live. I'm gonna hit record,
All right.
and we're gonna make this happen, girl. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
So welcome to YouTube. This is our first live stream on YouTube. Only completely by accident because apparently I'm in Facebook jail. So,
Facebook jail.
For no apparent reason, honest to God, really, like I would own up to it if I knew why I was in jail. So here we are. We just jumped over, make lemonade out of lemons. So
That's
we were given
right.
some lemons, and we're not only did we make some lemonade, we're over here on YouTube. We're gonna add some really good tequila to it, and we're gonna bring you some really good information here today.
Stir it up.
Right? Yeah. So, all right, cool. I am Dr. Paula Ruffin, and I am here with my very special guest, Miss Katie Chuba from the Hartland Chamber of Commerce. Where's my oh no, that's laughter. Wait, hold on. There we go. All right. So, oh shoot, hold on.
Did you play like a golf clap sound or something?
I did. Did you hear it?
I didn't.
Oh shoot. Okay, I hope it comes through on the recording. Anyway, so Katie and I have known each other for many, many years. I met Katie back in 2001 when I bought my practice, and she was the chamber director for South Lyon at that time. When I met her, we immediately connected. She's such a rock star when it comes to business and connecting with people. And then as evolution of her career would have it, she is now the chamber director for Hartland Township, I guess. And
well, it's Hartland area, but that's
Hartland
okay.
area. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're here because the chambers do so much for your business, and chambers are suffering right now. They're having to cancel a whole lot of their events that bring them money. And so I think we really need to put a spotlight on chambers and find out what they're doing, what we need to do as a community. They've been around supporting us as business owners. So what can we do right now to make sure that at the end of this, our chambers are standing? So we've got to give back to our chambers at this point in time. So with that, welcome, Katie Chuba.
Golf clap. Thank you, Paula. You mentioned you said chambers are suffering, and that's kind of a loose term, right? Because all business, we're all going through this, and I know probably people are sick of hearing that, but it's the truth. We're all kind of suffering in our own way. We might be suffering, there's talks about the mental health of people in general during this time, and maybe suffering financially and things like that. And you talked about how we're suffering. I'm working from home. I'm at the mercy of the Hartland Consolidated Schools District because our office is located inside of their main building, right on a busy M59 in Hartland. So we're forced to come out of our comfort zone and use tools like Zoom. Become an expert in Zoom real quick, don't you? When you're forced to use it. So. But
I don't think any of us knew what it was before.
Yeah, right. They're making a killing for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And there are, I have a lot of chamber colleagues, chamber directors that I've befriended through my associations and things like that. And, they're having to cancel all of their civic events for the year. And, you don't real those are revenue streams, right? To help us function so we can help. It's that snowball, the things that we do, we're a business, we need money to function, we have to pay rent, we pay employees and so on. And we need those money to develop programs for our businesses. It's the chain effect, right? So yeah, that's kind of what we're experiencing. I'm trying to look at new ways of being valuable. It's not revenue streaming, but it's important. So that's kind
How
of what
many
I'm doing right
members do
now.
you have in the chamber, in the Heartland Chamber?
212. So we're not a large chamber. We're considered through the Michigan Chamber of Commerce, a small chamber. So we have a really unique chamber, though, I think because we don't have a downtown, uh, providing opportunities for those businesses to connect is even more vital, I feel. But our members are awesome, and they've really stepped up to the plate to support us in our efforts too. So yeah.
It seems like uh it seems like with chambers, you're saying you got 172 members,
No,
but
212.
oh, sorry, I don't know where I got 172. 212. So
I don't know. You're way
212.
off.
I know, right? You know what's so special about the number 212? And then I'll ask my question. Is that 211 water boils, and at 212 you get steam. So you get one more
Ooh.
degree, that's all it takes. So
Ooh.
you get to, like, steam it, baby. Steam, full steam ahead.
We were on this, hold your thought, Paula.
Okay.
But we're talking about membership numbers, and my past president on my board, during our general membership meeting in November, he was giving everybody update on the chamber and giving membership numbers, and we had such an increase in membership. And we had always hovered around that 200 mark, and we've been able to stay consistently over the 200 mark. So he started this hashtag 250 for 2020, hashtag 250. And I think about that often. I'm like, is that realistic right now? Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. And I won't know. I feel like until
Yeah.
I'm at other people and other outside things attacking businesses mercy, right? So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. 250.
I think we have to be optimistic, right? I mean,
Right.
there are businesses that are growing through this, and all we can do is forge ahead, right? And find new and creative ways. And I think that was, you and I were talking leading up to this interview, is that, what are we doing? And again, just bringing that spotlight. And the question that I wanted to ask was, even though you have 212 members, full steam ahead, hashtag full steam ahead, you seem to have a pretty active chamber. So are there some chambers that might have far more members than you, but are just kind of lame, or not very active? And where would you put your chamber members, even though you call yourself a small chamber? Do you feel like they're pretty active and pretty involved?
Good question. And you have a portion of the people that are really active. I think all chambers have that certain percentage where they see those chamber members a lot. They see them working what I call the chamber system, taking advantage of marketing opportunities, taking advantage of, and this is all with your membership. So, we provide marketing opportunities that you wouldn't see elsewhere that are, through your membership. I'll be honest with you, it's cheap, cheap, cheap. It's, it, yes, we are active. We do have members that they don't need, they're comfortable. Maybe they don't need to expand their customer base, or they don't want to put the time into going to a monthly networking event, whatever. And that's the beauty of the chamber, is we provide all these different things, and you can come in and pick and choose and pluck out what you want to take advantage of. It could be easy as emailing me. Maybe you're having some kind of event at your store, and we put it in our newsletter. Maybe it's just that, or maybe it's you are very active every other week in our business builder networking referral group. So I think it's yes and no. And I don't want to speak for all chambers, but for what I have experienced, yes and no. We have some that are very active, some that are medium active, and some that are really aren't active. But they pay their membership dues. They know it's important to support the chamber's effort and advocacy for them. So I think it just really depends. The portion that we have that are really active and engaged, and I always share that is the most rewarding part of my job, is to watch them do business either through a referral or with each other, or they were able to make another connection beyond what they normally probably wouldn't have gotten by not being
Yeah.
a member of the chamber. So that's cool. That is like the coolest thing.
Well, and I think too, as a business, that really is the primary way to meet other people in the community and other business owners. And to me, it doesn't really matter what your business is. We all share very similar issues, and we all can solve our issues or solve our problems by collaborating with each other. Because gosh, man, you get in a room full of business people and there's some smart people in there, right? I mean, you just go, holy moly, like this is, I always come away from a networking event going, I got something out of it, not just hanging out and having a glass of wine with people, which is always fun, of course. But, if you can collaborate and get a little something, even whether it's something on the week or a goal you want to accomplish, or I had a customer and this happened and how should I handle that? So yeah, people within that community, I always feel they want to reach out and help other people in the community. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you're talking about, these networking events. Here's the deal. We always talk about how we're collectors and connectors of people, which is cool. But where else can you go and walk away with maybe five? I mean, there's all kinds of networking groups out there, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, whatever networking group that you're a part of, if you walk away with 5 business cards, and one of them is probably pretty lukewarm, a warm lead or maybe a hot lead. What an easy, and you met a bunch of people, you probably had a free breakfast or a nice cup of coffee. Some of those things are sponsored. So you
right,
just go and show up and you don't have
right,
to pay anything.
right.
I mean,
Free
some things you
food.
have to pay for, fundraisers and, lunches and things like that. But it's like to me, it's like kind of a no-brainer if you're looking to build your customer base. But I create those opportunities. So for me, and then to sell it is another thing. And here's the other piece of it too. If we're at a networking event or we're on a Zoom, let's say, let's make it more realistic. Let's say I jump on a Zoom that I have never jumped on before, and there's 25 people on the Zoom, and we all taking turns going around saying, this is what I do. This is how long I've been a member of the chamber, or I'm thinking of joining the chamber, or whatever it is. And I leave the meeting going, you know what? That chick with the red hair that's a chiropractor, I really liked her energy. So the next time I run into somebody that says, oh man, my back's killing me, I need a chiropractor, I'm like, oh my gosh, I met this girl, right? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah,
here's the thing, you can't buy that. That's unpaid salespeople. Unpaid
right.
salespeople are the best salespeople out there. So the more you're getting yourself out into your community, the more you're connecting, the more hey, think of me the next time someone mentions they need a chiropractor or they need a health and wellness in their life. I'm your girl. You have a dynamic personality, so people are gonna remember you.
Thank you.
And that's what I try to portray in the chamber is,
I think that's why we connected, because it takes one to know one. Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah, there's no empty space in the room when we're in the room, for
No, there
sure.
is not. There is not. It's a competition of space.
But that's what, and that's what I'm trying to do in the chamber, right? And I'm hoping that energy bleeds off into others or other entrepreneurs or other people in business. I want to be memorable. What's your elevator speech? What's so yeah, I mean that to me, that's really not working. That's kind of like
It's fun, isn't it?
It's fun, right?
Well, and I
Yeah.
think that was, again, when I believe when I bought my practice, I hadn't joined the chamber yet, but I came to an event and that literally was like the first thing you said. Well, you have to join the chamber. I mean, and I'm like,
Don't
okay.
don't you wish that we would have got that on videotape?
Oh my
Like
God.
if we were to
The first time,
if I had my crystal ball and could rewind time, the first time we
right?
ever met was recorded. Oh geez. It'd go viral.
I think so. I think so. It was, yeah. Because again, talk about dynamic personalities. I mean, if Katie tells you to do something, you do it seriously
Will you
because
please tell my kids that? And I look back then how I have evolved in my career, and you too, and anyone that's listening, you look back 20 years ago when I first started. If I could go back in time and say, "Oh, you don't open up with, you should join the chamber." You don't open up
20
with that.
years. And that was 20 years ago for anybody wondering. It's been a minute. So
We're
yeah.
old.
I know. Actually, it's been 19 years. So
19,
yeah.
yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself now.
Right. But the whole thing too was that's how I built my business. So going back to that, when you were there.
Awesome.
So yes, I joined the chamber. I involved myself in every single activity. I was top sponsor in every single thing I got my hands into everything. I met everyone. And within, 2 years, a year, I mean, it was very fast. I became a very well-known chiropractor in that area. So it was critical. I credit the chamber being there because I don't know that I could have gotten out and been able to maximize my time, my people, my resources, and the community if I didn't have that.
Good. That's awesome, Paula. I mean, I've watched you over the years become a successful woman in business, and you're a role model. I mean, and to kudos, the chamber is obviously great, and thank you. And I'm sure all chambers are appreciative of businesses that say that. I have heard that, and other folks too, because it's a marketing tool right there for you at your fingertips. And you worked you worked it, girl.
I
You
worked it.
this
I worked it. I worked it. And it was fun though. Like you
and
said,
you
it was,
invested.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Oh
fun.
yeah.
And it is an investment. And you have to really, look at your own plan and your own business plan and, decide what your investment looks like and how you're going to work that investment, because
Yeah.
people are not going to walk through the door. You have to go get them. That is first rule of business.
Yep.
I'm not going to get chamber members by sitting in front of a computer
Yeah.
and not
Not at
being on
all.
the phone, not going to things, not connecting.
Although with this connection,
I miss dearly.
I know.
I miss the
I
face to face.
know.
Like we don't realize. I mean, I'm really sick of the same people I'm seeing every day. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Your
love my
kids?
family.
Are we talking about your kids again?
Husband and kids. No. And I have seen some faces at a distance, and it's like air hug. But you don't realize.
Do you have it? Move your collar because I think your mic is rubbing against your. I thought maybe you had a.
I'm having technical difficulties.
There, Sue. Yeah, it's rubbing against there, so it sounds like a baby rattle. Okay, there we go. That'll be better. Oh,
I'm gonna pretend it's winter out.
Yes. Okay. I think. Okay.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah. So, well, with all of that, and we, with some of those benefits that we've covered, what are some things, again, bringing the spotlight, what can we do to help the chamber? I know you talked about your current membership. I want to talk about this toolkit because I think that is invaluable. And anyone who, honest to God, I think even if you don't, if you think that the Hartland Chamber is somewhere not within your vicinity, we're on a virtual platform right now. So to me, geography doesn't even play a role. So, you've got your chamber membership sale, for lack of a better term, but talk about this toolkit because I think that is something that people need to get stacked.
Okay, yeah, so you talked about, kind of where Heartland Chamber is, and this is what I share with businesses that are considering joining a chamber or multi-chambers, whatever. It's not about where your business is. I'll say that again. It's not
Mhm.
about where your business is. It's where you want to do business. So if you have an office, which I mean, we all can work virtually, but you want to get into Livingston County, or you want to get into the Heartland area and reach a new customer base. Maybe you're really prominent in Oakland County and it's time to expand, um, or take advantage of some virtual opportunities. That's where the membership comes in handy. And I don't care what chamber it is. Maybe I have Heartland Chamber members and they're like, gosh, we border Oakland County. There's some opportunities there.
Mhm.
Maybe I need to invest in the next chamber over, right? So you just have to, and if anybody wanted to talk to me about it, I'm more than happy to share what I know. But yeah, so I developed this toolkit, and you're talking about what you asked a couple questions. One of them was what can folks do to support the Heartland Chamber? I think right now we are really, really, really keeping our fingers crossed for retention. And I'm not just saying, yeah, pay your membership dues for 2021, but retention as what we can do to help our members stay in business. Because we might see some fallout from all of this where they might not make it. So we're not bringing any revenue in right now. So I need to work diligently in providing, like you said, the toolkit. Whatever resources we get resources, federal and state level, and kind of put it into what is the toolkit that you mentioned to help those businesses move forward. Again, we don't know that looks like. Stuff changes daily,
Right.
with what we're going to do, but um, our hopes is we do have businesses out there. There are I know I'm all over the place, and I promise I have a point. Squirrel.
Squirrel. We
There
go back to the
squirrel,
original subject.
squirrel. That's our chamber mascot, by the way. Squirrel.
It's a squirrel. Okay.
It's a squirrel. Um, there are chambers out there in the state that are getting members through all of this. Maybe these businesses didn't have a way to gain these resources that they need for protecting their facility, whatever it is, PPE, loan information, whatever it is. So they've gotten some new members. So of course, we want new members
Right.
always. So the toolkit, we are running I hate doing it. We're running a special. But we want
On sale.
those that want to take advantage of our resources. Our membership dues are tiered. If you wanted to join in 2020, it's really inexpensive right now. I'm taking care of all the new businesses that want to jump on board. So I would just recommend just giving me a call and we'll talk about what that looks like.
Okay. You
So
want
the
to,
two,
what's the phone number where people can reach you or the
I'm
website?
going to give, yep, no problem. Our
Okay.
website is heartlandchamber.org, and it's HART. So a little
Heartland.
heart,
Heartland.
heartlandchamber.org. Uh, my email is Katie, Katie, at heartlandchamber.org. And my cell phone number is 248-514-6969. So call anytime.
Perfect.
On our website, I did put the toolkit. A little disclaimer, I did not invent the toolkit. It was a template that was shared with me from a colleague. So, but I adapted it and kind of made it our own for our area. And what's inside of the toolkit is getting prepared, updated policies. I'm kind of just looking up because I'm looking at another screen. How to plan a safe reopening. What does that look like? What resources do you need to protect yourself, protect your employees, protect your customers? There's sample reopening plans in there that you can share with your employees or customers. Are you a low risk organization? Are you a high risk? And there's low, medium, I think high and higher risk. There's like 4 different templates. You can download those. They're on our website. You can have at it.
Oh, beautiful.
There's a sample employee screening. Um, I will tell you at the chamber, we have basically main door where everyone comes in, and really no one's going to come into the chamber except for staff, and you'll be able to knock on the door and announce that you're there, and we'll come to you because we can hear anyone that comes to the door, and we'll address the public or those needs as they come. So just with that whole, keeping safe, just social distancing thing. So what's your plan? And are you doing a run through? What's it look like? I guarantee you do a run through, it may not be what you had planned. So it's good to do a mock opening
Mhm.
with your staff. There's a sample employee screening on there. Are you making your employees take their temperature every day and doing a little checkbox if they have any symptoms? I will tell you, my husband's in manufacturing. When they go back to work, he has to do this screening. If anyone says yes to any of the questions, they have to go get a test.
Yeah.
So there's also a visitor log sample. These are templates. You can download them. You can have them. Paula, with you, I mean, you have to keep track of everyone that walks through that door. And if somebody comes down with COVID-19,
Mhm.
wouldn't you want to notify everyone else that was in the room with them? Or maybe you have 6 feet in place in your waiting room. Like, I don't know. Like,
Right.
how do you,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
all figuring this out on our
Yeah.
own, and there's no one plan that's going to be the same because there's
Mhm.
no one business that's the same. So just food for thought. Um, there's also kind of what you should be doing right now. Kind of what's your back to business plan? Or don't sit on your hands. Maybe you got to look at Google. Maybe you got to look at your social media platforms. We never had a presence on LinkedIn. I had personal presence on LinkedIn, so we put the Hartland Chamber up on LinkedIn. And we're trying to give that some love and get some traction through that and share the
A
things that
great
we're doing
idea.
on that platform too. So maybe look at the other platforms that you've been like, oh, I should do that. I should do that. Now's a good time to do it, right? Maybe email blast out to your customers and call your customers. So there's just some tips in
Mhm.
here.
Good.
Um,
Awesome.
going live like this, we just kind of run through here. And then there's some posters in there that you can print off and put up at your place of business. No handshake zone, capacity, a notice about doing your part, how to properly wear a face mask, just all kinds of stuff. So symptoms, and there's
Yeah, I
some
have
link.
those signs. I have 3 signs at the door, and then when they come in, there's signs inside, and then they have to fill out a form and answer the questions. One of the things from a safety perspective or a screening perspective is I don't have a thermometer because I can't find one. So it was recommended to me that even so, when you're trying to go through those opening protocols, or I never closed, so but these are protocols that I've had to implement, that you have to be writing. So I wrote it in my new policy manual that unable uh, to take temperatures because I'm unable to find a thermometer for my office. So as soon as one becomes available, I will have one on order. So it's really just documenting, because the idea is that if you're able to implement, and then there's certain things that either you can't, or for whatever reason, like you're saying, what's the dry run? If something doesn't work, you just document that. And so I think people are like, I have to do all of these things, but you, yeah, you've got to at least try. And if there's a good reason that you can't, then that gets documented too, and that becomes part of your policy manual or your toolkit.
Yes. What does your policies look like? Policies are going to be different for everybody. But again, in the toolkit, there's I took the template out of this toolkit for the chamber's policies. It was that good. And it took me, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes to just kind of make it our own. So it
That's awesome.
worked for us, right?
Yeah.
Well, you talk about thermometers. This is kind of off the cuff here. When I was a kid, I remember going to the doctor's office and then taking a cotton ball and alcohol and swabbing the mercury thermometer and then putting it in my mouth.
Right.
And who knows where that thing has been.
Right.
And I drink from the hose, just so you know.
Right,
I
right.
turned out okay. I
I
always
know.
drank from the hose.
And we rode bikes without helmets and yeah. I know. I know. It's a whole different world. So, but I also think too, we have to respect people's fear, where they're coming
Sure.
from. And so again, that's why I was really impressed with the toolkit. I think everybody should jump on there
Thank you.
and get that.
I appreciate that.
Talk to me a little bit about the Polo event, what you're thinking about that. I know that's one of your big
Do
money
I have to?
makers. I know. Well, it's a great event. It really
Thank
is
you.
such an outstanding event for anyone who has not been to the Hartland Polo Classic. So fun. And you get to go and meet Rochelle and have her make you a fancy polo hat. And it's so fun. So I am really
I
fingers
should
crossed
have my
hoping
polo hat
I know we
around
should
here
have put our hats
somewhere.
on. Yeah.
I have one upstairs. Yeah, so chambers rely on those large events that are open to the public as streams of revenue. It is a larger event. It is our largest event. Um, it's frustrating, needless to say. A lot of chambers have canceled all of their events for the year. We have not canceled it. Yeah, I don't even want to say the word. We have postponed it till August 8th, and with hopes that we can still have it. So it's right now it's tentative, but it is an outdoor event, which is a plus. We can minimize how many tickets are sold. We could do a sellout, so then people would feel comfortable being able to keep their distance, yet watch a sporting event that takes place on a 300-yard long field. So live polo, all of that. We have talked to the caterer to talk about how we would manage food. And when you do these events, you're looking at it from a totally different light, a totally different way of planning. And those of you that have ever planned a wedding, planning the polo event is like a wedding on steroids. So
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
that's how I feel. I always feel like a bride on steroids. So yeah, so there's still talk about it. Nothing's etched in stone. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really all I can say about that.
How will we social distance dance? Because the bands are amazing that you brought in, or the music. So yeah,
for sure.
Mike.
Well, I have to say that it's interesting that you say that. Yesterday at our Zoom at noon, we do, and I don't know if we want to talk about the Zooms at noon.
Yeah, tell me about that, because if that's educating the community, do that.
Correct. We're doing
Yep.
those every Tuesday and Thursday at noon, and inviting local business owners and leaders in our community to be my guest, kind of like what you're doing with me. We just had
Yeah.
a conversation.
Who's
talk
your
about
guest next Tuesday?
You are.
Ah!
How exciting. I'm so excited. We could do this
No.
conversation all over
All
again.
over, right?
But yesterday I talked to, and I had my board president, Emmeline Wheaton, who is the manager at the Detroit Polo Club as well. So I do a lot of initiatives with her. So she came on with me yesterday, and we talked to our superintendent of Hartland Consolidated Schools, Chuck Hughes, and Michelle Otis, who is our director of community ed. And if you want to see that, it's on YouTube. Follow us on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
I've been giving it some love on this downtime.
See, so here
See?
it's like getting into Facebook jail is a blessing in disguise, isn't it?
Yeah. Check out our YouTube channel.
Right? Okay.
So,
and that's just Hartland Chamber, I assume.
yeah.
Okay.
You'll find it.
Okay.
A lot of Zooms at noon. We also did a back to business series. So there's human resources, really good series. If you're a business owner, I think those series are worth a watch. Human resources, health department, and fire and safety. So those
nice.
three, that's a 3-part webinar series, and that was a multi-chamber webinar series initiative with the Howell and Brighton and our local economic development. So those are good. But anyway, back to back to the original subject, talking about the schools yesterday. We were talking about the whole social distancing thing, and talk about adults at the polo event dancing. They have to use their judgment. But the schools, how are you going to keep let's say 4 kindergartners away from each other.
Right.
Not 25 of them in a class, just 4 of them.
Yeah.
So those are some of the questions I posed to the superintendent. I mean, these little kids,
Yeah.
how
They
are
don't.
you gonna how are you gonna manage little kids?
Right.
And I have a friend that is a gym teacher at one of the elementary schools, and she's like, how much okay, it's gym class, but stay away from each other.
Right.
It's like-
Right.
it's like, talk
We're
about
going to play
oxymoron.
basketball. That's going to be one high scoring game. Right.
Yeah, well, that was a topic that came up yesterday about sports. Football, you
Right.
touch each other. My
Right.
daughter's a cheerleader.
Yeah.
They touch each other when they're not cheerleading. They're constantly in each other's personal space,
Yeah.
and touching each other's phones. It's crazy.
Ah,
I don't mean to laugh, but it's like
this
human
this is
hu
our world.
human nature. It's so against human nature.
Right. Right.
We're going to be robots.
Right. I know. I know.
So anyway,
Yeah.
try not to give too much
We could
personal
have
opinion.
X's on the dance floor 6 feet apart. We could
Oh
do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's your spot.
Hey,
You stay there and dance.
that's good birth control at prom, right?
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Well,
So,
that's awesome.
we're experiencing the challenges like everybody
Yeah.
else. And here's the deal. I had one of my board members say, "No one has the answer for you. You have to go out and get it."
Hmm.
And that is the truth.
Hmm.
If you're a business owner or just, a family trying to navigate throughout this, no one has the answer for you.
Yeah.
You have to go find the information. You have to go find what works best for you and adapt it to make sure that you're doing the right thing, protected, right? Like the
Hmm.
toolkit.
Hmm.
There's a disclaimer on there. This is not etched in stone. These are just simply resources that you can adapt.
Templates.
So templates,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Well, and
but
I think just as much as I'm seeing the chambers reaching out to their community, again, I think that this is an even bigger time to reach back to the chamber and support the chamber. And this, like, tap into, if you haven't tapped into it. I know I haven't tapped into 100% of what the chamber can offer me, but hey, this is where I'm at right now, is what can I do to be as involved in chamber events, whether it's on Zoom or I'm doing these interviews with people in the community. So I'll throw that out to your community if there's any business owners that want to put a spotlight on their business and look at some creative ways we can develop some cash flow for people. But please let them know that just connect them with me, because I know you are a collector of connectors. So
yeah. And I know, Paula, you're so deeply connected, just beyond like Oakland County, Metro Detroit area. And for your insight and how you've grown your business, I think that's awesome. That you can help other people kind of take a little different look at what they're doing or their
yeah.
plan or what their model is, or like you said, like maybe it's time to analyze some cash flow.
Hmm.
So
Well, and I look at it this way, I've been fortunate to keep my doors open, even though business dropped significantly. It doesn't matter if your doors are open if people are afraid to come out. However, I am surviving through this, not quite thriving yet, but I am surviving through it. And my whole thought process is, if I'm standing at the end of this and nobody else is, we don't have a community. So that's why I'm really glad that you and I can get on here and do this. I'm going to be interviewing Joelle from the Huron Valley Chamber next week. And I would love to start collecting chamber directors and doing this. And then of course we talked about you and Joelle coming on together. So I think just getting the message out that we need to be even more connected to our communities now than ever is we've got to carry each other through this and be as creative with each other as possible and reach out. I was talking to somebody yesterday or the day before about, I'm putting together a virtual platform with webinars and, creating another revenue stream for myself. And he said, well, yeah, but you're gonna something about me selling something. And I go, I'm not selling anything right now. I can't sell anything, right? So right now is the time to just develop your relationships with people and look at where can you pivot and adapt to move into this next phase of whatever, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I just wrote, you said, you had said you're surviving,
right,
right?
right.
And I mean, that's kind of the status quo right now, right? People are
Mm-hmm.
just kind of surviving. Some may not. That's the truth. But
Yeah,
I wrote down survive, revive, and thrive.
beautiful.
So I'm onto something.
That's
I'm onto
I think
something.
that's hashtag it.
I
Let's
am.
hashtag it. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
we're gonna run with
survive,
it. I feel
revive, and thrive.
I feel a webinar coming.
Okay, I think so too. Make sure, I'm glad you wrote that down.
Right.
All right, well, this has
And
been awesome. Is there anything else
yeah,
you want to add as far as what we need to do to support you guys and or just inform people about?
if you're a business that wants to expand or support us, let's talk membership. That's right now, that's the most cost-effective way as a business to invest in themselves and want to get into this area or tap into what we're doing.
Yeah,
I would say just check out our website. We are collaborating a lot with our partners. I have great partners, the schools, the township, the library. Beyond that, in Livingston County, our local economic development council, Ann Arbor Spark, and the other chambers. We're working together to bring we're talking, we have more initiatives in our back pocket that we're going to launch and a marketing toolkit for the county. So
that's
on,
beautiful.
Love Live Co. So yeah, there's good things that are coming in the future that we're working on. We're just trying to stay busy, and if you want to invest in us and help us with our advocacy, just please reach out. I'd love to have a conversation.
That's
So
awesome. And I think everybody in earshot of this video should reach out because not only, so it's not just about a membership to the Hartland Chamber of Commerce. It is literally about massive, massive business growth and connection with people in the community who also love to connect and grow. So, so just think
perfect.
about it
You
that
said it
way,
perfectly.
right?
That's perfect.
So good.
Wow.
So,
Want a job? No, I'm just kidding.
sure. I don't think I could do your job as well as you. So
Oh,
you're
well, vice versa.
okay. It's what
Well,
makes us a
Paula,
good pair.
thank you for having me.
I appreciate you
The
being
bomb.
here.
You are the bomb.com. So
Bomb.com.
you are the bomb.com. So I really, really love, I really like these virtual
I
conversations.
know this is fun, isn't
They're
it?
fun. There's a lot coming out of them because
Yes.
we're able to kind of just sit in the comfort of our own home and we're relaxed and you can reflect and kind of just, say the way it is. Sometimes when we're office, you feel like, oh, I got to say the right thing. And,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cares anymore.
Well, and I've connected with more people in the Huron Valley Chamber. I just joined that
Awesome.
chamber a few months ago, and this is how I've connected with people, and it's been great because I'm like, oh, you're cool, you're cool, and I mean, like having Zoom meetings and creating friendships and with quality people who are just, I just genuinely like them. That would not have happened if we were not in a pandemic. So I'm going to say that's my takeaway, my positive takeaway from all of this. So.
Well, I will say this because I know you joined the Hartland Chamber.
And I joined the Hartland Chamber too.
And on May 20th, we have our business builders on Zoom.
Oh, beautiful.
So I'm hoping you can join us.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people on the screen. Everyone introduced, and our referral group is so great.
Nice.
They're really good, genuine folks that are doing business and happy to do business. So
I can't wait. I
yeah,
can't wait. So yeah, make sure that I get a link to that, just not on Facebook because I might still be in jail. I don't know. So
I'll email you. It's all good.
okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us. Katie, thank you so much.
You're
Remember,
so welcome. Thank you for
heartlandchamber.org.
having me.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay.
All right.